All right, hello everyone, and welcome to week 5 of our fall broadcast. I'm Ranger Allie.
I'm Ranger Bailey. And I'm Ranger Wendy.
She's our park botanist, and she has really awesome things to tell you today, especially with our fall color update. If you guys do have any questions throughout the broadcast, please put those in the comment section, and we're going to answer those at the end. And we are here every Thursday at 12 on Facebook and YouTube, so keep tuning in. We have a few more weeks to go because fall is sticking around, and we have a few tips to share before we get into the fall color check. So go ahead and start us off, Bailey.
Yeah, so talking about the fall colors, if you want to know what the park is looking like and you aren't tuning in right now, or you aren't looking at our Facebook updates, then on our website we also have a fall page. As soon as you go to our homepage, you'll see it right there. It's a picture of beautiful fall colors. Click on that and you can find our photo progress gallery. We have wonderful volunteers taking a ton of photos for us this year, and we update that as soon as we get those photos in. So if you want to know what it's looking like right now in different districts, then definitely give that a look.
Yeah, I was actually in the park yesterday because I was so inspired by what all of our volunteer photographers have been seeing. And I was kind of in the Central District from Swift Run Gap to Thornton Gap, taking pictures myself. Oh my gosh, it's incredible, especially with the dry summer that we had. It's really blowing our minds away how beautiful the color is. So I think the rain that we've had in recent weeks has really helped that progress, and Wendy can talk about that a little bit more. So we have some other tips that you guys can use for tracking fall color, and that includes our webcams. So we have 2 live webcams. One is actually on the visitor center at Big Meadows, which is, I think you can see behind us, and that kind of gets a good live stream of what you can see in the meadow. It's looking pretty red right now, which is really cool. And then we also have one called View from the Valley, and so that is actually looking up. I think Stony Man's kind of center on the mountain peak of that range, and then you can see as far as Big Meadows, and I think kind of northern, probably past
Down into the valley.
Yeah. So, and some cows. I mean, everybody likes to see the cows. So
Very
you can see
authentic.
that too. Yeah. So check those out, see if you guys are interested in seeing what the view from the valley looks like.
If you're thinking about coming to the park anytime soon, like in the heat of the season, like right now, then you definitely want to keep in mind some tips for coming to visit. So maybe buying a pass online, or if you don't know what the pass options are, looking those up and seeing what you would prefer. And if you're ready to come to the park, then there might be a line that's just a little bit faster for you if you've already got the pass.
Yeah, definitely have that on your phone ready to go with your ID ready as well.
Yes.
You can also arrive early. Coming in early to the park is going to help out with your trip. You'll have a longer experience in the park. You get to spend the whole day. And probably coming in the middle of the week is going to be your best option as well if you're trying to avoid crowds.
And the morning light is very beautiful on the leaves. Morning light is just gorgeous.
Yes.
So get here early.
If you want to avoid crowds again, trying other entrances rather than just the northern. Front Royal entrance gets really backed up like around this time of year. So trying something a little south if you're not coming in super early is another great tip to have in mind.
Yeah. You can also download our NPS app and then search for Shenandoah National Park, and you can download the offline content. So what that means is that when you come up to the park, because our service is kind of sparse, it'd be really good to have that online content downloaded or offline content downloaded, because you can use your app without service. So you'll get all of those really great resources like maps, things to do, including hikes and programs. You'll have all of that right in your pocket.
Speaking of trails, maybe keep in mind taking the road less traveled once you get into the park.
trail less traveled.
Yeah, the trail less traveled. Definitely try that out, because especially areas around the visitor centers, things might get backed up. If there's a parking spot that's completely filled, maybe try another spot that's not as popular right now. Keeping in mind like how many people are parked there and how popular you want to go to your destination. Try somewhere that's a little less busy. It might help your trip.
And remember, it doesn't have to be a destination. Just some random little chunk of the Appalachian Trail can be absolutely beautiful. You can just go anywhere.
Yeah,
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Yeah, I did notice yesterday there are a lot of crowded trailheads, and people were parking along the road with all 4 tires off the road, which was really great to see. We do have some areas marked where you cannot park, but as long as you guys are parking safely, and smartly, I think that it's going to work out. But again, we have 500 miles of trails in the park, so you're bound to find something that you're going to enjoy, and you're going to see fall color, especially in the next few weeks. So Wendy, take it away, please. Do our peak check for us.
Oh, okay, a peak check. Well, this is it, folks. This is the 3rd week of October, and this is our typical time when we see peak in Shenandoah, and it is coming in right as expected. Especially at the highest elevations of the Central District. So when you're driving along Skyline Drive, this is when you're going to see the brightest colors, but we still have some time before the sides of the park go, the sort of the oaky mountain sides turn. So another couple of weeks before we see that display. So we're on target though, and we had a very dry summer, but then we got some rain right at the very end of summer and the early part of the fall, and it somehow managed to sort of pull it out and save the trees from dropping their leaves too early, and we have beautiful color this year. It's better than New England. I was just in New England.
Oh,
it's
cool.
It's actually better here because they had too much wetness all summer.
Oh, if you guys are seeing pictures right now, those are actually taken by our volunteer photographers, and they're awesome. So we do have a video of Wendy that we filmed earlier this year. She talked about why the leaves change color in the fall. So let's do as much as you can, a condensed version of that explanation.
Okay, the Cliff Notes version of why the leaves change color. Leaves change color because their connection to the tree is cut off by a little layer of tissue that is grown that cuts them off. And that happens because the trees sense the lengthening night, the longer nights, and that triggers them to grow this tissue that cuts the leaves off from the tree. And then once the leaves are cut off from the tree, that's when this process of color change begins. And leaves are normally, they have chlorophyll, which is a green pigment in them. And that pigment is what makes the sunlight, they use that and the sunlight to make food for the plants. But when they're cut off from the tree, they can't make any more chlorophyll, so it breaks down in the sunlight, and then these other colors shine through. So they've been there all along. It's kind of like the big reveal of fall. The chlorophyll fades away, and then the oranges and the yellows, the carotenoids and the xanthophylls, come up, and you can see them. That's what makes the trees such, the leaves, not the trees, the leaves of the trees, the beautiful colors. And then there are the reds. Everybody wants to see the reds, and those are the anthocyanins, and those come in because as the chlorophyll breaks down in the leaf, it interacts with some of the sugars that are left, and that's what creates the bright red. So those are actually created in the leaf. So right now, that's what's going on, right on schedule here in the park. And the thing to remember though is that we get the best fall color when you have these sort of warm, sunny days, and then the cool, frostless nights. And it's been absolutely perfect here for the last couple of weeks. We've been just in perfect weather for developing color. But you have to keep in mind that if we get a frost or a freeze, that destroys the color sort of making equipment in the leaves, and it tends to dull the colors out very quickly. So early next week is looking like it might get kind of cold up here. So hustle on over if you want to see the best colors along the ridge of Skyline Drive, along Skyline Drive. But keep in mind though that we will still get later color over the next few weeks along the sides of the park, and then in the northern district and in the southern district at the lower elevations.
You'll notice that Wendy's embracing these cooler temps a lot better than Bailey and I are.
I love it.
She actually emerged from the meadow as we were setting up, and so she got a little warm, but it feels really good in the sun.
It does.
So I'm
50.
sure.
It's nice.
Actually, yeah, it is really nice out. This is like perfect hiking weather for me.
Oh yeah,
personally.
it is. It's great out here.
And we can talk about the colors we're seeing now.
Oh yeah,
Do you want to hear about that?
Yeah.
Okay, this year has turned out to be absolutely fantastic for the maple trees. So we're seeing really brilliant reds and some oranges coming in on our maple trees. And you'll see them, little pops of color along the hillsides, and then especially along Skyline Drive. Even driving 211 over towards Luray, you'll see really nice maples. And then we have a lot of yellows from the hickories, and the birches in particular are making really golden yellows all along the road. And then we're starting to see the sort of rainbow, I think of it as like the sunset of colors. The red, the orange, and the yellow coming into the sumac, and the other one, sassafras along the roadsides. So they haven't all turned, but some of them have, and the color is really nice in those. So there's it's really a good time to
Yeah,
get up
absolutely.
here. Definitely.
What are some of the best ways that you like to view fall? So like if you are visiting Shenandoah National Park for the first time, are you going to stay on the drive? Are you going to hike, pull over to an overlook?
I guess it depends on your tolerance for crowding, really.
Yeah.
You can go anywhere pretty much and see nice colors, but I like to park at a parking area that has room and then walk in the opposite direction of whatever the target hike is. That's my personal favorite. So if everybody's going up Hawksbill, turn the other way and walk the other way. And then you'll still see the same colors, but you won't have all these people.
Yeah, that is true. That is
That's
true.
personal favorite.
And then you can tell everybody else what you've been seeing,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
might make that one a little bit more crowded, but at least it'll be worth the view.
That holds true for sunsets as well. Everybody's looking at the
Yeah.
sunset. Turn around and look in the other direction. It's often really beautiful the other way because of the evening light. And then another thing to remember is if you get here and like the leaves have it's past peak and the leaves are kind of falling off or whatever. Just remember, you lose the leaves, but you gain the views. You get much more beautiful views through the trees into the valley, and you can always drive north or south and probably pick up some leaves.
My personal favorite time of year is early November. It's got
Yes,
the
it's
darker
gorgeous.
chocolate browns and everything. So, I mean, while peak might be for some people around this time of year, my peak is a little late. So, yeah.
That's true.
Our
It's all about perspective.
The widest spread, most beautiful, I think, display that we have is when the oaks turn. And that happens usually in late October, very early November.
Yeah.
And the hillsides just light up with all of these beautiful reddish browns and golden browns and chocolate. It's just gorgeous. But it only lasts for a couple of days, and you usually don't know you've seen it until it's passed. And you were like, wow, that was great.
That's great.
Absolutely.
So if you all have any questions that you are dying to ask us or Wendy about fall or your future visit to Shenandoah, drop those in the comments now. While we're waiting for those comments to drop, the National Park Service theme for 2023 is Your Park Story. And so we've been asking our guests every week how they ended up in National Park Service and then eventually in Shenandoah National Park. So share your story.
Okay, well, my story is very short. I went to college in biology, I went to graduate school in botany, and then I saw an announcement for a botanist job at Shenandoah National Park, and I applied, and I got it, and I came here. And that was in 1997, so this is now my 27th year here at Shenandoah as the botanist, and it's just been an excellent fit for me, so I figured, why go anywhere else? I love it here, and I love working for the National Park Service. I mean, it was always a part of my life growing up. I grew up in the Boston area and went to the Boston Parks and Minuteman and Saugus Ironworks, underappreciated but very interesting. And then of course Cape Cod, so I spent a lot of time at Cape Cod since I was like 5 years old. So Park Service has been a big part of my life, and I just love working for the Park Service.
So you're used to the New England fall
Yes.
spectacular.
Yes.
So it's pretty impressive that we can compete with that.
Yes.
Way to go, Shenandoah.
I know. I was a little jealous of all the rain this year. But
Yeah,
now,
they did get a lot more.
They had
You know
too much.
but
Yeah.
it had too much. I know we were quite dry, so like you said, I was worried about the colors this year. But man, I just it turned
was
itself
too.
around.
I know,
really
we were
turned
all
around.
worried. We were
Yeah.
like, wait, this is great.
It just goes to show you can never predict what fall is going to be.
Yeah.
There's so many factors. Yes.
Yeah.
that come into play.
So we have a question. Do you have any idea what the colors look like from the top of Old Rag? I kind of have an idea, but I'll let you
could
go
ask
first.
Christina. From the top of Old Rag, I imagine that it doesn't look that spectacular from the top of Old Rag just yet. It's a little too early for the sides of the mountains to be really lit up with color. The color we have now is better seen at close range, especially in the morning and in the evening with the light filtering through the trees. Or even right now, it's pretty where we are. So I would wait a little while for Old Rag.
We had one of our volunteer photographers, I cannot remember who, but they hiked Old Rag last week, and just as you said, there's some spots of color, but mostly still green, so
Yeah.
I can imagine the next couple weeks that's really going to progress.
early.
And you can look for that photo on our website in the photo gallery that Bailey was talking
absolutely.
about. Everyone's saying hi, so everyone say hi back. Hello. Hello, hello. Are bears a problem on hikes through the park? I wouldn't say that they're a problem. I think that being prepared before you go on a hike if you do encounter a bear, just kind of knowing what to do, keeping that 150 feet of space between you and the bear.
Talking, making noise.
I think that you'll be okay. If you see a bear, I think that that's actually a really special part of your trip.
It is.
They're usually pretty skittish, so like we said, if they are getting a little bit too close to you, if you just get really big and talk really loud, they'll usually back away.
They just melt away into the forest.
They get a little curious, but
yeah. They sometimes walk down the trails because it's an easy place to walk, but they will turn off if they hear you coming. They don't see very well, but they hear very well. So make noise. Talk to them. Hey bear.
Hey bear, hey bear. If he talks back, there might be an issue. All right. Doesn't look like we have too many more questions. We just have a lot of shout outs and saying hi. Oh, is the sumac red now, and is it a native plant?
Yes, the sumac, some of it is like a dark maroonish red. Some has turned sort of red, orange, and a little bit of yellow. It's really pretty on the roadsides. And then other sumac is still green. It's like 50-50 on the turn on the sumac. And it is native. It's called staghorn sumac that you see mostly right along Skyline Drive. It's a beautiful native, and we're lucky to have it.
Yeah. Let's see. If I'm coming this weekend through the front royal entrance, what would be the best view?
Best view.
I know.
Of what though?
That's what I was gonna say. It's up to you, really, what you like. And it depends on the time of day. If you're looking on one side of the park or the other, into the valley, it really depends. Do you want to see a lot of civilization?
Midday, the lighting can be very harsh. So early and late in the day, a lot of people like looking out into the Shenandoah Valley from somewhere in the central district out to the west. But
I would say as far as overlooks, Hogback Overlook has a really expansive view of the valley and some rolling mountains. And then Jenkins Gap, I believe, that one was actually a cleared vista last year, and that has a really gorgeous view of the other side of the mountain, Piedmont.
I think actually that's my favorite because it's got the two mountains kind of coming in together, and then there's a little lake in the background. So it's underappreciated, I think, but very beautiful.
Let's see. Do you have park maps for hiking? Why, yes, we do. We have those on our website. You can search, or if you go to either of the visitor centers, either the one at Dickey Ridge or at the Big Meadows Visitor Center, you can ask for park maps there. Let's see. When will be peak?
That's the $65,000 question.
I'll answer it again.
And I'll answer it again. That peak, it happens at different times in different places of the park. But overall, peak is right now. If you're going to be driving Skyline Drive. But there is more peak to come for the sides of the drive and the sides of the park and the lowest elevations along the drive. But we are right on target. Third week of October, the end of the third week of October is usually when we have our brightest colors. But as I said, our most widespread colors come in late October. Because that's when the oaks are all turning.
We're right on schedule, I think.
Everything is very bright right now, so if you're targeting wanting to see bright colors, you should come now.
Yeah, great. All right, and so with that, we are going to wrap it up. But if you all do have any questions that you want to include in the comments throughout the day, we're going to be checking in, so we can still answer those for you. So don't be shy. We'll go on there and look. But we thank you so much, Wendy, for being on today. We were really looking forward to this.
My pleasure.
And again, if you want to see a more detailed video of why the fall is what it is, why all these colors change, then you can look up on our YouTube or on our website. Wendy has a full, I think, 15-minute video. And there are chapters, so you can skip to which parts you want to know. But it's a great video, so we recommend watching that if you have more questions. But thank you all so much for joining us today and for asking questions. We had a lot of fun doing it. And we are going to see you again next Thursday at 12 on Facebook and YouTube. See you later.
Bye.
The Corny Ranger wave.